In this movie, this lesson, I would be pleased as punch, not that I understand why punch has anything to do with being pleased, if you would open up areatext.ai. It's in your exercise file. Now, there isn't anything in it. You say, well, I'll just open up a blank document. Don't. Because of the beauty and the elegance of Adobe Illustrator, being document specific. Anything I add to a document in terms of swatches and graphic styles, etc., will be here if you open up this document. And if you open up a blank document, you're not going to have what I want you to have. So go ahead and open that one up. Over here, make sure you are in Essentials as a workspace. And down here in Graphic Styles, there are a couple of styles that I've added that we're going to be using. And you'll see them if you open up this document. That's why we're doing that. Next, make sure you are in the background layer down here and come over and pick up your ellipse tool. I'm a big ellipse kind of guy. And I'm going to get right about in the center. I'm going to hold the Alt key down, which means draw out from center. And I'm going to give myself a nice big old ellipse, just like that. Don't worry about the color. Come over, pick up your selection tool. Make sure it's selected. And select this option right here. All right, kind of looks like a big splat, doesn't it? We got that done. Lock down the background layer by clicking right here until you see a nice little kind of like lock come up. Go back to the work area layer. Now we're ready. Open up your type tool. I'm going to click and hold. I'm going to rip that bad boy off. I love being able to do that. Last lesson, we talked about type. Type is unique in the fact that you don't need anything. You click, you drag, or you just click, you start typing. This tool is different. You have to have something to convert into an area type. So we can make shapes out of literally anything. Now I want my text more or less to kind of float within that area, and that's an oval. So let's go ahead and pick up our ellipse tool one more time. And in the work area layer, I'm going to get again right about in the center. Now if you've got the smart guides on, it'll tell you exactly you're in the center. I'm going to hold the Alt key down again and draw myself an ellipse that I want text to go into, but it's within the borders, obviously, of that big old blob there. Now, when you let go, it's probably going to give you something like that. Go ahead and just press the default button over here. That's that little button right there. Doesn't matter what it is right yet. Now, well, actually, one more thing. Let me go ahead and pick up my selection tool again. In mine, I want a little bit more elongated left to right. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key and drag it out a little bit more. Maybe something like that. Okay, we can always play with that later. Pick up the area type tool. Come over to the path. You got to click on the path. Go ahead and click it. Whatever was in there is gone. The white, the black, the gradient, I don't care what it is, it's going to be gone. And now we can type. Now I've already got in memory the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog's back. So if I press Control V, I can begin pasting it. And you will notice it is more than happy to follow the constraints of the lines that make up that now invisible box. And that's the important thing to remember. That box is indeed invisible. If I go back to my arrow tool, for example, and pull it away, you now have text and you have a blob behind it, if you will, and you have the text in the front. And whether you want to do it this way or not, any shape is fair game here. That's pretty cool. Try this. Unlock background, and actually, let's go ahead and select the text and get rid of it. And let's select the blob and get rid of the blob. Let's come over here to the ellipse tool. Let's just use the ellipse tool. Draw yourself an ellipse. I'm going to hold the Alt key down so I can draw from center. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to get right about here, and I'm going to hold the Alt key again, and I don't know, maybe do something like that. I'm creating a unique kind of shape here. I'm going to select both, go back to your selection tool, and grab them both, and pick up your shape builder. Remember what that does. You got, in a sense, 3 shapes, or it thinks they're 3. Drag across all of them, and of course it'll do that. Looks like a weird-looking acorn, doesn't it? Let's pick up our selection tool. I'm going to move that down just a little bit, see if I can get more of that acorn look now that I've got it going. Okay, come over here and just give it a different color. So make sure the fill is on here and go ahead and pick a color. That's boring, but that's all right. I want to fill that area with that text again. But remember what happens when you pick up this tool. The shape is still there, but whatever was in it goes away. So I think you're probably already on what I want to do here. I just undid that. I'm going to pick up my selection tool, and I'm going to go to the word edit after I've got it selected and say copy. I'm still in the background layer. I'm then going to go edit, and I'm going to say paste in place. Now that puts it exactly on top of the other. If you just say paste, it's going to center it. And unless that's centered, it won't work. But I do want to move this one. I like working with text in another layer. So I'm going to pick up this little button right here. Remember what that means. That means I have something selected. And I do have something selected, that top shape. I'm going to grab that little square and move it up here. And that puts that here. Now, I'm going to lock the background just in case. If I pick up area and get right about here and click, you see, it still looks like the shape is there, but in reality, the shape is underneath. And if I now do my Control V, it will follow the shape. So the one thing you really want to remember, and it is important, is if you are creating a very unique shape that has a fill that you really like, and you want to keep the fill, when you're working with the area tool, when you click, it becomes a text container. Everything goes away except the container, which is invisible. And what we did, we solved the problem. We did a copy, paste, and place, and there you go. On to the next.